Forkom tahun 2023. Selamat siang, kami ucapkan kepada seluruh peserta yang sudah bergabung pada pertemuan siang hari ini. Perkenalkan, nama saya Indri, koordinator untuk debat bahasa Inggris tingkat Forkom ya, untuk FKIP Negeri se-Indonesia tahun 2023. Merupakan suatu kebanggaan, and it is a great pleasure for me to be hosting this technical meeting. Although I'm very, very nervous at the moment, yeah, because I still have limited knowledge about debate, but I'll try my best to deliver, and my team also will try the best to deliver the good competition of English for you all. Pertama-tama, kami semua ya dari pihak panitia mengapresiasi sebesar-besarnya atas semangat dan partisipasi teman-teman semua yang telah mendaftarkan diri dalam kegiatan ini. Semoga spirit dari debat bahasa Inggris dapat terjaga sampai kegiatan ini selesai nanti. Total terdapat 40 tim ya yang mendaftar untuk kompetisi debat bahasa Inggris ini, sehingga teman-teman nanti bisa dapat memperkirakan bahwa dalam babak penyisihan akan terdapat 10 breakout room, atau akan terdapat 10 ruang debat yang akan berjalan bersamaan dalam babak penyisihan. Yang kedua, perlu kami sampaikan juga permohonan maaf atas keterlambatan penyampaian technical meeting yang seharusnya berjalan pagi tadi ya. Namun karena terdapat beberapa kendala teknis sehingga kami mundurkan ke jam 14.30 waktu Indonesia Timur. Mungkin saat ini ada beberapa mahasiswa yang sedang menjalani kuliah dan kesibukan lain. That wouldn't be a problem because this meeting is recorded, and later we will deliver you or share you the link to today's recorded material. Yang berikutnya adalah kami memohon kepada seluruh peserta untuk dapat memaklumi ya jika terdapat kekurangan maupun keterbatasan dalam pertandingan yang kami laksanakan dalam mewujudkan kegiatan puncak Forkom tahun 2023. Masih terdapat banyak kekurangan di sana-sini ya, terutama Universitas Hairun sendiri pada kategori lomba debat bahasa Inggris maupun kategori lomba debat bahasa Indonesia ini masih dalam tahap belajar dan berkembang. Namun kami menjanjikan yang terbaik bagi para peserta agar bisa mendapatkan pengalaman yang berharga dari pertandingan Forkom ini. As we may have already guessed that some of the participants here perhaps are already well trained in terms of debating, yeah, and some of the debaters perhaps already have great trainers with them. You have a well-developed debating community in your university, and that's very, very great. So please bear with us if we have some more or less throughout this competition. But we are very, very open to evaluation. You could perhaps give us some advices or suggestions or perhaps comments and critics in order to make this competition better. All right. For your information, the judges for English debating competition of Forkom 2023 will be berasal dari unsur dosen ya. Jadi seperti pelaksanaan kompetisi debat bahasa Inggris tahun lalu tingkat Forkom di Universitas Mataram, bahwa juri dalam kegiatan ini memang di-encourage berasal dari unsur dosen FKIP negeri yang tergabung dalam Forkom. Namun selain itu akan ada tambahan juri-juri dari unsur alumni pendebat atau para debaters yang sudah melewati yang namanya adjudicating seminars dan juga adjudicating training seperti itu. Dan semua juri yang akan berpartisipasi pada kegiatan ini nantinya akan menjalani tahapan penyamaan persepsi dan juga akreditasi juri agar mampu mengawal kompetisi debat dengan baik. Untuk itu saya akan mulai untuk sedikit penjelasan teknis mengenai kompetisi debat bahasa Inggris ini akan seperti apa. It is very interesting that throughout the registration phase, we found out that there are a lot of participants that are still new into this competition. Jadi memang ada beberapa peserta yang memang masih sangat pemula dalam kompetisi bahasa Inggris ini, sehingga perlu kami jelaskan pelan-pelan mengenai teknis dari debat ini akan seperti apa. Right. So, first things first, in this competition, you're going to have 3 preliminary rounds. So 40 teams are going to go through 3 preliminary rounds. So round 1, round 2, and round 3. You are going to be you're going to be delivered into your own breakout room. So we're going to have 10 breakout rooms throughout the competition. There will be 3 preliminary rounds. And then we're going to be ranking you into 16 teams, 16 teams based on your rankings to go to the quarterfinal round. And then we will have 8 teams who are going to go to the semifinal round. And after the semifinal round, we're going to see you for the final round in Ternate City. Okay. So the debate format that we're going to use for this competition, generally for students of higher education, the debate format that are going to be used is British parliamentary debate. So this is how British parliamentary debate look like. So in one room or in one round, there are going to be 4 teams participating at the same time. There are going to be opening government team, opening opposition team, closing government, and closing opposition. So 2 teams for government and 2 teams for opposition, each going to be opening and closing. And also there are speakers name here. Jadi dalam debat BP atau British Parliamentary ini kita tidak menggunakan istilah first speaker atau second speaker, tapi menggunakan nama-nama pendebat masing-masing seperti yang sudah disebutkan di sini. Jika Anda mendapatkan posisi opening government, maka pembicara pertamanya akan bernama Prime Minister, sedangkan pembicara keduanya bernama Deputy Prime Minister. Dan seterusnya, untuk opening opposition, we're going to have opposition leader, deputy opposition. For closing team, the first speakers are called members, so member of government and member of opposition. And the very last speakers are called the whips, which is government whip and opposition whip. So how about the sequence of speaking? Bagaimana dengan urutan berbicara dari alur perdebatan ini? Mengenai urutan berbicara, semuanya sudah tercantum secara berurutan di sini. Jadi yang berangka 1 artinya dia akan menyampaikan case-nya atau argumennya terlebih dahulu. So Prime Minister goes first, and then replied by opposition leader, kemudian kembali ke opening government lagi Deputy Prime Minister, 4, 5, 6, 7, sampai pembicara yang ke-8. Sampai di sini saya rasa masih cukup mudah untuk dipahami ya. Kemudian setiap pembicara atau each debaters have maximum duration of speeches. So how long are you expected to deliver your arguments or case? So your speeches should last for 7 minutes. And the judges will give time signal which indicate that you have spoken for 1 minute, and then the second signal will be given at 6 minutes, and the third signal will be given at 7 minutes. The timekeeper for the round can be the chair judge that is assigned to your debate room or debate chamber, or it could be students, for example, that are designated by the committee, or volunteers such as liaison officers, for example. They will help you to assist your debate in the room by being timekeeper. So the timekeeper will count the time of you when you are speaking. So through the chat box, the chair judge or the volunteer who are being timekeeper will count the time and then chat through the chat box. misalnya teman-teman sudah berbicara sampai menit ke-1, maka akan ada chat muncul 1, 6, dan 7. Seperti itu, untuk menandakan bahwa waktu berbicara Anda sudah selesai. Kemudian, those speakers should ideally finish their speech by 7 minutes. They may legitimately continue to speak in order to finish their sentence or wrap up conclusion, which shouldn't take more than a further 15 seconds. So, your maximum duration of speaking is 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Beyond 7 minutes and 15 seconds, judges are no longer permitted to take anything the speaker says into account. So if you're still speaking beyond 5 minutes and 15 seconds, whatever you are saying tidak akan dicatat. Right, speaker should start their speech within 1 minute of being called on by the chair of the debate, unless in reasonable circumstances as approved. It is important to notice that this debate will be held virtually, which means that there will be some problems in internet connection and so on. So talk about it with judges in your breakout room. Seperti itu. So diharapkan ketika teman-teman sudah bergabung dalam breakout room masing-masing untuk memulai debatnya, jika misalnya terdapat masalah pada koneksinya, maka bisa disampaikan kepada Dewan Juri untuk bisa memberikan sedikit waktu. Baik, selamat bergabung bagi yang baru bergabung. Please mute yourself ya. Oke. Dalam debat juga terdapat yang namanya interupsi, which is called points of information. So, while the speaker standing is speaking, other members of the other teams may give points of information. So, a point of information is called POI, which is a formalized interjection from any speaker opposing the speaker who has the floor. It is up to the speaker who has the floor to decide which POIs to accept or reject. The first minute and last minute of each speech is known as protected time, and no POIs may be offered to the speaker who is making their speech. Jadi ketika teman-teman mau memberikan interupsi atau point of information, make sure that you wait until the timekeeper has given the time signal 1, artinya bahwa pembicara tersebut sudah mencapai waktu berbicara 1 menit, dan POI hanya bisa diberikan antara menit ke-1 sampai menit ke-6. Selebihnya POI sudah tidak diizinkan lagi. So, during the intervening 5 minutes, from minute 1 up until minute 6, POIs may be offered. A POI juga memiliki durasi. Sebuah POI tidak boleh lebih dari 15 detik ya. So you can only deliver POI for 15 seconds. Right. To offer a POI, a speaker can utilize available features such as chat box or raise hand on Zoom. Jadi, karena ini adalah debat yang akan berjalan secara virtual, maka cara memberikan POI-nya juga tentunya berbeda dengan debat yang terjadi secara luring. Biasanya sebelum memulai debat, debater yang akan berbicara atau debater yang akan menyampaikan argumennya akan menyampaikan their preference of POI. Misalnya, my POI preference is chat box, atau my POI preference is to unmute yourself. Jadi mohon diperhatikan di awal sebelum pembicara lawan Anda berbicara, kemungkinan dia akan menyampaikan their POI's preference. Jadi kalau misalnya dia minta lewat chat box, so you can chat ya, misalnya mengetik POI atau on that point dan seterusnya. Kalau misalnya dia inginnya lewat unmute, maka you can unmute yourself and say POI ma'am or POI sir, seperti itu. So POIs may be up to 15 seconds in length. However, a speaker may cut off a POI before 15 seconds and resume their own speech. All right. Now we are going to team roles or the 3 burdens. So there are 3 burdens that are going to be faced by each teams. So every team needs to prove their logical burden, kemudian motion-based burden, and comparison or framing. So what is logical burden? It means that you need to elaborate the likelihood and impact of your arguments. You need to explain why your arguments are true, what are the factors that can support your claims, and what are the impacts and why are they likely to happen. Okay, so it is the job of each teams to elaborate in a very systematic way that which can prove that their arguments are significant and important. And then we have motion-based burden, which is addressing the key issue asked by the motion. So you should debate within the scope of the motion, or even when you speak a little bit outside the scope of the motion, you still have to frame your case within the spirit of the motion itself. So make sure that each time the motion is released, you understand clearly what the motion means. And the third one is comparison or framing, which means you need to actively compare your team with other teams' argument. It is not just about delivering points, but rather to engage and prove the judges that your team has delivered more important mechanism. Baik, jadi tahap ketiga ini cukup penting ya, bahwa dalam debat ini bukanlah sebuah pidato atau apalagi ceramah. Nah, dalam berdebat kalian harus secara aktif try to engage with the debate. So, jangan hanya melemparkan argumen, tetapi harus dengan seksama mendengarkan apa yang disampaikan oleh lawan dan berusaha untuk membuktikan bahwa what you are delivering adalah yang paling penting dan significant. This is the general team roles. So for opening government, they should define the motion, proposing arguments in favor of their side, and rebut arguments made by opening opposition, which is done by their deputy prime minister. For opening opposition, should rebut opening government's case, which is the general set of arguments that the opening governments have offered, and deliver constructive arguments as to why their side should win the debate. Closing government and closing opposition should provide further analysis in favor of the motion or against the motion, which should be consistent with but distinct from the substantive material advanced by OG or OO. Nah, untuk closing team memang sedikit tricky ya, because they have to deliver arguments that is distinct from the opening teams. Or you can provide different framing or analysis or further elaboration to make the judges convinced that what you presented in the closing team is actually far more better than the opening teams. So further analysis can take the form of substantive material, refutations or rebuttals, framing, characterization, or any kind of material meant to advance the respective case. Right, now we're talking about motions. So what is a motion? So motion is basically a topic that you're going to be debating in a round. So each round has a specific topic, which is known as the motion. The motion will be announced each round along with the draw. Draw will be showing all the rooms in the tournament and the position in which team in the competition will be debating in each room. To all participants 15 minutes before the debate begin. Jadi dalam setiap ronde sebelumnya panitia akan merilis informasi mengenai draw, di mana kalian akan melihat, kalian akan bertanding dengan tim mana saja, di breakout room yang mana, jurinya siapa saja, dan posisi kalian sebagai apa. Apakah OG, OO, CO, atau CG. Setelah teman-teman menerima draw masing-masing dan sudah mengetahui di ruang mana kalian akan berdebat, teman-teman akan diberikan sebuah mosi, dan kalian punya waktu hanya 15 menit untuk mempersiapkan mosi tersebut. So the preparation time is called case building. Each team has 15 minutes to prepare their case. Okay, so if debaters are still uncertain about the literal meaning of a word in the motion, they may ask a member of the adjudication core or ask the committee to define it for them. They may not ask anyone other than a member of the education core to explain any words in the motion. nor may they refer to online resources. They may also not ask for any further assistance from the adjudication court beyond a simple definition of a word they are unfamiliar with. But don't worry, because we ensure you that in this competition, we are preparing you motions that are easily understood. Seperti itu. Baik, jadi biasanya untuk mosi-mosi yang agak sulit dalam hal terms-nya, akan ada info slide yang tersedia ya untuk membantu debaters memahami makna dari terms-terms yang terdapat pada motion tersebut. Selain itu, jika masih ada yang kurang dimengerti, masih bisa bertanya ke panitia ataupun ke dewan juri mengenai maksud dari kata-kata yang kurang dipahami. Tetapi tidak boleh bertanya terlalu banyak. Selebihnya teman-teman harus mempersiapkan sendiri dan berusaha memahami masing-masing. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the speaker's role. So 4 teams has 8 speakers. The first is Prime Minister. So what is the job of a Prime Minister? The job of the Prime Minister is to present a debatable, persuasive case in support of the motion. So the Prime Minister has basically 2 responsibilities, which is to define and interpret the motion and to develop the case for the government team. The definition and interpretation is particularly important because it sets the for the entire debate. Remember that the Prime Minister has the right to define the motion in a reasonable way. Therefore, if the Minister's interpretation is a poor one, it will likely result in a poor debate. The next responsibility of a Prime Minister is to construct a case for the government team. Prime Minister need to present all of the arguments for the opening government team. In many cases, he or she will state that their team will have a certain number of arguments and that some will be presented in the speech and the Deputy Prime Minister will present the rest. So this generally become the duty of the very first speakers, which is Prime Minister and also Leader of Opposition, to mention all of their arguments, claims, or assertions to the judges to tell that or to make it easier for the judges to identify that they have several numbers of arguments and that their arguments are consistent of this and this and this, and that the first speaker is going to be delivering some arguments and the next speaker will be delivering the rest of the arguments. Also, Prime Minister will present their team stance and mechanism of solving the problems if the mechanism is needed according to the motion. Next is the duty of Leader Opposition. So the Leader of the Opposition should generally accept the definition and interpretation motion as presented by the Prime Minister. In extraordinary cases where the definition is completely unreasonable, the Leader of Opposition has the right to reject the definition. However, such act a very bad debate, but it is very rare to have definitional debate, and again we make sure that all the motions we have are not ambiguous and easily defined. Leader of Opposition should also rebut part or all of the Prime Minister's arguments, but remember to be mindful of time because it is not advisable to use your majority of time only for rebut. Again, you have your case to be developed and delivered. Our goal is to select the most important arguments presented by the Prime Minister. And finally, Leader of the Opposition should present arguments directed against the Prime Minister's interpretation of the motion. And these arguments are usually different from those arguments offered in rebuttals. It is not limited. It should consist of the most persuasive reasons that the Leader of Opposition can present to convince the audience to reject the proposition. Next is the role of Deputy Prime Minister, which is to respond and engage with the debate. So after the Prime Minister speaking, casually rebuttals will start. So the second to 8 speakers will have the rebuttals. So answer rebuttals from the Leader of Opposition, defend the case presented by the Prime Minister, this must be done in a very systematic way, for sure. So the deputy should take up the prime minister's argument one by one and defend each argument against rebuttals by the leader of opposition. At the end of the deputy's speech, the audience should see that the case originally presented by the prime minister still stand strongly. The prime minister should also rebut any independent argument presented by the leader of opposition. Finally, the deputy prime minister should add more arguments to the case presented by their prime minister. And because of course, Prime Minister may not have the adequate time to develop all the arguments before within 7 minutes. So it becomes the judge of the duty of the Deputy Prime Minister to continue the case and finish all the mechanism that has not been delivered well in the Prime Minister. And during this time, deputies can add more depth. Yeah, it is. They can add depth, like they add additional examples, explanations, or analysis to support a previous claim. Next is the role of deputy leader of opposition, which is basically the same for as with deputy leader prime minister. So deputy leader of opposition needs to defend the rebuttals offered by leader of opposition, and then defense argument by leader of opposition, and add more or new arguments to those being offered by the leader of opposition. Next is the duties of members. So for members, they need to offer new perspective from the opening teams, because if you're not offering new perspective, it will be counted as a repetition. So members need to defend the thesis of the opening teams. So if you are in the government teams, then member of government needs to, of course, defend the overall case that has been by the opening government. And the same goes for the opposition team. Member of government shall continue refuting arguments made by opening opposition team, while member of opposition shall continue refuting arguments made by opening opposition and member of government. Members should develop one or more arguments that are different, consistent with the arguments offered by their following previous benches. The extension provides an opportunity to distinguish the opening and closing case, while also remaining consistent with their overall. Lastly, we have roles for the whips, which is government whip or opposition whip. So the very last speakers, they have the responsibility to close the debate for the respective sides. The whip should rebut the extensions that are offered by the previous opponent's member. And then they also need to defend the extension offered by the member of their own team. They need to provide distinct arguments and add new justifications, tell the judges what is missing from the opening debate, summarize the debate from the perspective of their side, and avoid making new arguments. You may, however, add details or examples in support of previous claims. So avoid being too late in terms of arguments. So as members, you need to make sure that all of your arguments or mechanism has been delivered in your part. So the whip's duty would be to analyze the whole debate from the first to the last speaker and try to prove the judge that the closing teams are the winner because you have brought such important message about the debate. Now, we're going to see how to start the debate in the virtual room. So first of all teams will be allocated with rooms, judges, and team positions. And then there will be 10 breakout rooms in the preliminary round. Next is, upon entering the Zoom for each round, all debaters or team should rename themselves in the Zoom according to the given format, which will be explained in the next slide. After that, all debaters gather in the main hall for motion release. So you should stay in the main building before the committee allocate you into your own breakout room for the debate. After the motion is announced, all debaters should move into their allocated breakout rooms for case building. The case building time is 15 minutes, and after case building is over, the judges will open the round and introduce all the teams. Debate starts from the opening government, opening opposition, closing government, and then closing opposition. After the round is finished and all debaters have finished speaking, debaters will be asked to leave the breakout room, but please do not leave the Zoom meeting, yeah. So you just have to go back to the main building, just leave the breakout room and wait for the judges to deliberate. Usually the judges will take 10 to 15 or to deliberate with the other judge or panelists before they call all debaters back to their breakout rooms to listen for verbal adjudication. So how to rename yourself? So this slide will later be sent into your WhatsApp group. So make sure that you know which room you are allocated in, your team position, and round number. So after the committee release the draw information, please remember which room you are allocated in, and then what is your team position, and the round number. Debaters in one team are allowed to use 2 different devices for each separate debaters, or one device. So if your team speakers are not in the same room, you may use 2 devices. So for one device format, you can put the round and then room name and then your team position, your team name, and then underscore and write down both of the speaker's name. For example, if you're participating in round 1, then put R1. And then if you are allocated in room A1, then put A1. If you are playing as opening government, please write down OG and put your team name according to the berdasarkan pada rekapitulasi yang dikirimkan oleh panitia melalui website ya. Jadi pastikan teman-teman mengetahui karena ada beberapa universitas yang mengirimkan 2 tim sehingga misalnya Universitas Hairun ada A, ada Universitas Hairun B. Jadi mohon untuk diperhatikan kalian ada di tim A atau tim B untuk universitasnya masing-masing. Misalnya setelah itu Universitas Hairun A, setelah itu underscore both of the speakers name, Abdul Halim dan Indri Anwar. If you're using 2 device, maka sama saja untuk formatnya, tapi untuk namanya hanya 1 saja. Okay, let's talk a little bit about argument structure. This is the simplest one I can offer you. There are lots of usual resources and materials online, especially the one that comes from NUDC. For example, if you could just type down on YouTube seminar penjurian dan debat NUDC tahun 2023, misalnya, you can find and listen to very wonderful explanation about how to debate, how to make arguments, dan seterusnya. So there are many different ways to structure an argument. Some uses CRAE, which is claim, reasoning, example, evidence, and impact. You might even heard of PEAL, which is point, explanation, example, and link. So all of these argument structures serve the same goal, which is to help you have an organized argument. So what all argument structures have in common is that they start with an assertion, or claim, or point, or statement. So sebelum teman-teman mengelaborasi argumen kalian sedemikian rupa, pastikan untuk memiliki assertion. So the claim should always come first because it is easier for judges to follow your points, and if they are not properly tagged, it is difficult to identify them. So make sure that you you tell the judges that you have several arguments, which is this and that and this and that. For example, if a motion reads, this house would introduce restrictions on overseas players in football. Government team may propose an assertion, banning overseas player is good for the development of homegrown players and domestic leagues. Seperti itu. Jadi setelah menempatkan assertion-nya, disampaikan, kemudian bisa mulai dikembangkan argumen tersebut. Right. Next one is reasoning. So after delivering your arguments, of course, you need to prove the judges with reasoning and elaboration that could prove that your arguments are important and they are necessary. So reasoning your arguments by elaborating them and provide the judges with explanations of why your arguments is true, significant, and exclusive. So for example, from the previous assertion, you can give some reasoning such as, for example, limiting the number of overseas players will be good for homegrown sportsmen. At present, only a tiny handful of the best native players will get a chance to play for top clubs due to their profit and success motives. This means that the talented young players can see no reason to work hard and develop their game because it is so unlikely they will get a chance to play at the top level, and clubs don't have a reason to seek out local youngsters and train them, as it is easier to buy a fully trained players from abroad. Of course, this is very short. Yeah, it is just an example. You need to add more analysis. You need to add more explanations. And of course, add examples or evidences. Yeah, perhaps you can add some analogies to support your statement. Okay. And lastly, don't forget to link back. So link back is done to show why your argument is relevant to the motion, to show that what you have said is important for the debate, and to strengthen your whole team stance, to point out which parts of the opponent's case you are attacking. For example, the continuation from the previous elaboration, you can link back such as limiting the number of foreign players has many benefits. It would create incentives for both players and clubs to make the most of their talents. As a result, domestic crowds would rise as quality would improve proportionally with the development of local talents. Okay, so that's a little bit of explanations and gambaran ya mengenai kira-kira dalam debat itu menyampaikan argumen itu seperti apa. Baik, kemudian one thing that you need to remember in a debate is that debate is a competition of critical thinking and analytical thinking power ya. Jadi debat itu bukan mengenai siapa yang bahasa Inggrisnya paling bagus, tetapi bagaimana kalian mampu menyampaikan ide, gagasan, bisa memberikan argumen yang baik sesuai dengan mosi. Because sometimes we can still found some debaters and even judges ya yang masih gagal paham mengenai bagaimana sebuah debat itu seharusnya ya, sehingga masih ada penilaian-penilaian seperti pronunciation, kemudian grammar, which is not important in a debate. So if you are not fluent in English, it is your loss because when you are speaking with a bad English, of course judges will apa yang mau disampaikan itu kurang tersampaikan kepada juri. Tentunya juri akan tidak terlalu memahami apa yang Anda sampaikan. So speak in an easy grammar ya. If you're not sure about the grammar, speak in an easy grammar. Make sure that you're using apa ya istilahnya ya, bahasa-bahasa yang mudah agar apa yang mau Anda sampaikan bisa tersampaikan. And apakah tim yang argumennya terbanyak itu otomatis memenangkan babak tersebut? Belum tentu ya. Jadi the more arguments you have doesn't mean that you have an automatic win. Speaking 7 minutes meaning that you have more quality, itu juga tidak benar. Even though you're speaking under time, for example 4 or 5 minutes, if you have good quality of case and arguments, then you also have the chance to win the debate. So it is really interesting. Now, this is the end of our material for technical meeting. Actually, we still have one more, which is types of motion. But for this one, you can refer to the video of seminar debat and penjurian serta akreditasi juri NUDC tahun 2023. They have wonderful explanations about types of motion and how to construct arguments based on those types of motion. So we're really sorry because we are limited from time and from our limitations of resources. You may please refer to this video. All right, so this is the end of my simple explanation about BP debate. If perhaps you have questions, you can deliver it through chat box and we will try as best as we can to answer your question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Indri, that already deliver related to the technical meeting, material of technical meeting. So if there is anyone have questions, just through chat and or raise your hand, and so we will try to answer. Does anyone have questions? Or it is clear?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I have a question. So my question is only when I want to ask about the assessment system, like how the judges going to score the debate during the competitions. And second of all is about the tabulations. Like, are we going to use like TabiCat or we will have another alternative? Thank you.
Thank you very much, for pointing that out, and that's really, really important as well. For the adjudicating system, of course, we would refer to BP adjudicating system, which is seperti yang sudah kita pahami atau sudah kita kenal sebelumnya ya. Jadi nanti untuk adjudication-nya akan saya kirim panduannya. Kalau misalnya teman-teman mau baca panduannya lewat WA group dan bisa baca ya untuk penilaiannya sesuai dengan apa yang biasanya dilakukan dalam BP debat, BP debate, dalam kompetisi-kompetisi debat seperti NUDC. Kemudian untuk tabulasinya, sekali lagi kami mohon maaf, untuk tabulasi ini akan kami lakukan secara manual. Jadi memang due to limitations of resources, we still don't have TabiCat with us ya, sehingga untuk tabulation systemnya are going to be done manually. Seperti itu. Terima kasih. Oke, ada pertanyaan lainnya di chat box. Would you please send us the presentation slide so we can learn more? Thank you. Yes, of course. We will be uploading this technical meeting and it will be uploaded and then the link will be shared to you all through the group. And the presentation slides, of course, we can provide that for you as well.
One last question.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so refer the last. I'm sorry. Is it audible?
Yes, you're audible.
So regarding about the adjudications, at the end of the debate, can we receive an OA or oral adjudication from each judges, like what we used to have in the British parliamentary system?
Yes, and thank you very much for pointing that out. And we're trying our best to have, first of all, we're of our judges, which Bapak Ibu dosen dari seluruh peserta Forkom ya, untuk mengikuti tahapan adjudicating seminar dan juga apa istilahnya tahap untuk menentukan kemampuan para juri-juri ini ya. Jadi kami akan berusaha semaksimal mungkin agar setiap juri ini paham bagaimana cara menilai sebuah debat. Kemudian untuk selain verbal adjudication, at the end of the debate, if you are still unhappy about the decision, or you're still unclear about the have delivered, we will provide you with each individual's judges information regarding their contact number, so you can pursue them after the debate, and that will also be informed to all the judges, so that all the judges will be ready to provide you with information and oral adjudications after the debate. So we'll make sure that you can approach the judges even after the debate.
Okay, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
one more.
I think I have one question in the chat box.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to ask about the type of the motion. Is it all about education, or it can be wider than education? Thank you in advance. So all the motions would be impromptu, and the motions that we have prepared are highly related to education for sure, because we are FB, yeah, and we also have some motions outside of education topic. So prepare yourself, but that we ensure you that topics would be easy to understand, and also they are very, very updated about the issues that are we're facing internationally or globally. So just rajin-rajin membaca seperti itu. Jadi akan ada topik-topik pendidikan, tetapi juga ada topik di luar itu, tapi semua topiknya seru-seru dan tidak terlalu sulit sih.
Saya pikir jelas ya. So, saya pikir sudah clear. Tidak ada yang kekurangan lagi. Ibu Indri, I think.
Ya, Pak Halim, ada satu pertanyaan lagi ya. Ini paling penting, betul sekali. Jadi kapan babak penyisihannya akan dilaksanakan?
Oh ya.
Jadi untuk babak penyisihannya, untuk jadwal yang tertera pada panduan terakhir yang kami revisi itu adalah dimulai pada tanggal 22 Juni ya. Dimulai pada tanggal 22 Juni, tetapi masih tentatif. Sebelumnya tadi beberapa waktu yang lalu saya sempat mengkonfirmasi di grup WA peserta ya, bahwa adakah peserta di sini yang mengikuti NUDC ya kan? Sepengetahuan saya dalam minggu ini masih akan ada satu kali babak masih ada satu wilayah yang belum melaksanakan seleksi. Nah, namun hari ini kami sudah menerima informasi terbaru bahwa untuk tingkat nasionalnya akan dilaksanakan tanggal 5 sampai 12 Juni. Di mana saya juga termasuk salah satu pembina untuk NUDC. Jadi di tanggal 5 sampai 12 tentunya harus kita kosongkan untuk kegiatan debat bahasa Inggris Forkom ini, karena kita berikan kesempatan untuk para pembina dan juga teman-teman pendebat di kompetisi Forkom ini untuk bisa berkompetisi di NUDC terlebih dahulu. Namun up until this time kita masih stick to the current schedule, which is tanggal 22 Juni, tetapi kemungkinan bisa juga kita majukan sebelum NUDC, dan informasi tersebut akan kami sampaikan secepat mungkin. Paling lambat dalam waktu 3 hari kita akan finalisasi untuk jadwal penyisihan domba debat Forkom ini. Ya, halo Pak, you are audible and clear. Kemudian ada lagi pertanyaan. Let's say during the debate, your debate partner is sick. Can we switch partner? Okay, this is very important. So we are referring to the general rules that NUDC and BP debate is using. So in terms of switching partner, mulai sekarang kami harap teman-teman debater bisa menjaga kesehatannya ya, karena sebenarnya kalau sudah masuk pada tahap technical meeting, peserta sudah tidak bisa diganti. Tetapi up until today, sampai hari ini, itu masih ada beberapa tim yang menghubungi kami dari pihak panitia, karena ada beberapa peserta yang berhalangan sehingga harus digantikan di dalam satu tim. So, kami masih memberikan kesempatan, misalnya teman-teman ternyata ada aktivitas lain yang tidak bisa digantikan, silahkan untuk segera menghubungi kami dan mencarikan penggantinya untuk kita gantikan dalam kompetisi ini. Namun, jika kasusnya dalam babak penyisihan, lalu ada salah satu anggota tim kalian yang sakit, ini juga merupakan pengalaman pribadi saya ya di 2 tahun lalu ketika tim saya mengikuti pertandingan NUDC babak penyisihan. Ada salah satu debater saya yang sakit saat babak penyisihan pertama. Panitia mengizinkan untuk panitia untuk mengizinkan kalian untuk ironing. So, jika salah satu partner kalian sakit, maka kalian bisa berdebat 2 kali dalam satu babak tersebut. Contohnya nih, saya dengan Pak Halim satu tim. Lalu babak penyisihan dalam satu ronde tim sakit. Nah, panitia mengizinkan saya untuk berdebat sebagai diri saya sendiri dan berdebat menggantikan Pak Halim. Jadi saya akan tampil 2 kali dalam babak tersebut. That is called ironing ya. You can be iron person for your partner. Tapi the rule for iron person hanya boleh terjadi pada satu babak saja. Jadi untuk babak kedua kalau Pak Halim belum juga sembuh, berarti tim saya didiskualifikasi seperti itu. Jadi mohon dijaga kesehatannya teman-teman. Jika saat berdebat lalu salah satu partnernya berhalangan, maka kamu bisa iron as their position, tetapi hanya untuk satu babak saja. Untuk babak sisanya kedua peserta tersebut harus ada seperti itu. Saya rasa jelas ya. Tadi ada yang telat masuk dan bertanya berapa kali preliminary round-nya. Untuk preliminary round-nya kami berdiskusi dengan pelaksana debat bahasa Inggris Forkom tahun lalu, sehingga kami samakan untuk preliminary round-nya itu akan kami laksanakan 3 kali. Setelah itu akan kami ranking 16 tim teratas untuk mengikuti perempat final dan semifinal. Kira-kira jelas ya? Baik.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Ya, silakan.
I just want to know about this composition. Will this composition be held even if only via Zoom like this, or not to be met for every challenge for this composition?
Sorry, you were not quite clear. Bisa diulangi lagi?
Will this composition be held even if only via Zoom like this for the June month, or we want to be meet up?
Oh, it is online, yeah. Or yeah, it's conducted online or in offline. He asked.
Iya, baik. Baik, terima kasih untuk pertanyaannya. Jadi untuk babak penyisihan akan dilaksanakan secara online atau daring ya. Jadi seluruh pertandingan penyisihan, mulai dari penyisihan babak 1 penyisihan, babak kedua, babak ketiga, perempat final dan semifinal semuanya akan dilaksanakan secara daring. Setelah itu akan terpilih 4 tim yang akan menuju ke babak final, dan babak finalnya akan dilaksanakan secara luring di Kota Ternate. Seperti itu, dengan Universitas Hairun sebagai tuan rumah. Jadi nanti untuk yang babak final, kita akan ketemu di sini. Baik, terima kasih.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ya,
You're welcome.
Ibu Indri, kayaknya mungkin ada yang mau disampaikan, Pak Kapolri Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris.
Iya.
Ya. Welcome, Pak Anwar Ismail. This is the head of our program. Welcome, Pak Anwar.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for your joining on Zoom meeting. today, and we have a special meeting. I would like to say welcome, and I would like to say on your meeting today, even we are doing the meeting in social media. Jadi selamat bergabung di lomba debat bahasa Inggris, dan kami di program studi pendidikan bahasa Inggris ingin mengucapkan terima kasih untuk itu semua. Mudah-mudahan acaranya lancar jaya, dan adik-adik selamat bertarung untuk memperebutkan tiket ke Ternate, ke Maluku Utara. Jadi motivasinya adalah juara debat bahasa Inggris dan juga kunjungi Maluku Utara di Ternate yang kita cintai ini. Mungkin adik-adik yang belum pernah sampai di Ternate dan juga Bapak Ibu, tidak lupa juga saya ingin menyapa Bapak Ibu Kaprodi yang mungkin bergabung di Zoom meeting kita hari ini, yang mewakili adik-adik kita untuk mengikuti debat bahasa Inggris yang nanti akan dilaksanakan. Kami juga menyampaikan terima kasih juga kepada Pak Halim, Ibu Indri, yang telah mengelola kegiatan Zoom meeting kita hari ini. Ibu Indri ini sangat bekerja keras dan Pak Halim bekerja keras untuk kesiapan segala teknisnya untuk kegiatan debat. Mudah-mudahan bisa lancar jaya sampai selesai nanti. Amin. Berikutnya saya juga memberikan apresiasi kepada adik-adik yang terlibat dalam kegiatan ini. Mudah-mudahan yang terpilih nanti sebagai juara, kita akan ketemu di Maluku Utara, daerah Rempah-Rempah, kota kerajaan, di mana yang belum pernah datang di sini bisa menikmati panorama atau views dari Ternate. Kemudian berikutnya saya juga ingin menyampaikan bahwa kegiatan debat ini seperti biasa, jadi kegiatan rutin yang dilakukan setiap tahun untuk perguruan tinggi negeri, terutama di Fakultas Keguruan Ilmu Pendidikan se-Indonesia. Jadi mungkin nanti yang akan datang kalau ada tambahan-tambahan universitas baru, ya kita tidak tahu, nanti itu kebijakan dari kita semua. Akhir kata, saya Kaprodi, program studi pendidikan bahasa Inggris, Fakultas Keguruan Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Syaitan Ternate. Selamat bergabung dan selamat lomba teman-teman adik-adik yang ikut lomba debat bahasa Inggris. Marilah kita menjunjung tinggi profesionalisme untuk mendapatkan hasil yang terbaik dengan profesional juga. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang, salam sejahtera. Saya akan kembalikan ke Ibu Indri dan Pak Halim.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Selanjutnya saya persilakan Ibu Indri untuk tutup pertemuan kita pada sore ini. Kalau sudah clear semua, kita akhiri. Ibu Indri, silakan.
Baik, terima kasih banyak Pak Halim dan juga Bapak Kaprodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris, Bapak Anwar Ismail M.Hum. Terima kasih untuk partisipasinya semua teman-teman yang sudah bergabung pada technical meeting siang hari ini. Jika ada yang masih kurang jelas, teman-teman boleh...
Ibu Indri sebentar. Saya boleh sapa dulu dengan Pak dari Unsil, Kaprodi dari Unsil.
Silakan Bapak.
Halo Pak Anwar, Assalamualaikum.
Yo, waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Apa kabar Pak?
Baik Pak Anwar.
Iya, ini kebetulan kami adopsi kegiatan English Cafe yang diusulkan oleh atau yang pernah ditampilkan oleh Unsil di universitas kami, di fakultas kami. Jadi nanti kami akan melakukan itu lewat kegiatan, lewat MOA. Jadi nanti kita akan mudah-mudahan di tahun 2024 kita akan melakukan kunjungan ke Unsil dengan beberapa mahasiswa dalam rangka untuk itu. Kemudian mudah-mudahan juga dari Unsil datang kemari juga untuk kita exchange students gitu. Jadi nanti Pak Halim dan Ibu Indri juga bisa mendampingi teman-teman adik-adik mahasiswa ke Unsil. Kemudian mungkin kita juga nanti akan kembangkan kerjasama yang lain dengan prodi-prodi lain yang nanti akan datang di Ternate, terutama prodi pendidikan bahasa Inggris. Mungkin kita akan menjajaki kerjasama dalam bentuk MOA untuk implementasi di tahun 2024. Ya, terima kasih Pak. Kami
tunggu sekali Pak Anwar dan kawan-kawan dari Unhair.
Iya, kami pada dasarnya siap belajar banyak dari perguruan tinggi
Sama-sama,
yang sudah besar, dan kami siap terbuka, siap membuka diri untuk mendapatkan masukan-masukan dan bantuan-bantuan dari Bapak Ibu yang kampusnya sudah go internasional gitu.
Amin, amin. Sama-sama Pak Anwar, kita juga banyak belajar dari Unhair ya. Terima kasih sudah meng-quote and quote English Cafe. Kita akan nanti sambut oleh teman-teman English Cafe untuk teman-teman Unhair ya.
Oke, siap. Siap,
mantap,
Pak.
Mantap.
Terima kasih banyak. Ya, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ya, dilanjutkan.
Ya, silahkan Bu Teh dilanjutkan.
Ya, mohon izin Pak Kaprodi dan Bapak Kaprodi Unsil, Pak Yusuf, mohon izin. Terima kasih banyak sudah bergabung dan mendengarkan dari awal sampai selesai. Untuk seluruh peserta, jika masih ada hal yang belum jelas atau masih ada pertanyaan, boleh kiranya menghubungi saya lewat private WhatsApp ataupun lewat grup, dipersilahkan. Materi ini akan saya share kembali lewat WhatsApp grup. Dan untuk waktu babak penyisihannya atau jadwal babak penyisihannya akan kami sampaikan paling lambat dalam 3 hari ke depan dengan beberapa penyesuaian karena memperhatikan lomba NUDC yang akan berlangsung bulan depan. Kami ucapkan terima kasih dan selamat belajar semuanya. Persiapkan diri kalian untuk pertandingan kita nanti dan sampai jumpa di Kota Ternate. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Bu Indri.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Pak.
Sampai ketemu di Ternate.
Ya.
Insya Allah.
Insya Allah. Amin.
Amin.
Saya sudah pernah sampai di Unsil.
Wes.
Ya, pertama kali internasional, pertama kali masih jadi mahasiswa di UPI, saya pernah menyelenggarakan konferensi internasional SAGE gitu ya, SAGE.
Iya, alhamdulillah. Dan terima kasih juga ada dari mahasiswa Unhair ikut kelas nasional kami, kelas nasional serasa kelas internasional. Insya Allah semester depan kita akan coba untuk yang lebih baik lagi, Pak.
Amin. Ya.
Baik, mohon izin saya live, Bapak Ibu sekalian.
Terima kasih.
Sukses untuk semuanya. Amin.
Terima kasih, Pak.
Sama-sama, dari Universitas Papua sudah ada, terus ada dari Universitas Uncen, ada dari apa tuh?
Mungkin Pak Lim minta kameranya on semua supaya kita foto bersama.
Ya, lupa tadi ya. Sudah lewat ini, sudah banyak yang live.
It's okay Pak, saya sudah screenshot tadi. Saya sudah screenshot semuanya.
Berarti nanti share di grup.